So, this one's for you, Gemini. Here we are. That's you, Gemini. This is your general report from Tarot Lumination for October 2017. Yay, we made it. So, let's just dive right in. Cards were well shuffled in advance. We're going to the very last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. None of that. We're just trying to tell a story, okay? And the cards are quite jumpy. Interesting. I don't know what that means, but the cards are jumpy. Okay. We're going to do a journey of the heart spread, okay? Hope you don't mind. And we're going to read from the heart because ultimately that's where it all comes from anyway. You know, we could do a technical reading. We could do it a linear reading. We could do a spiritual reading. This is from the heart, because without that, there's nothing, okay? So, you know the drill already, of course. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, you know, because everybody breaks these tarot things up into astrological chunks. So that's what we're going to do too. And then you squish it all, turn it into your own story, reinterpret however you want so that it works for you. All right? It's your reading for you. This is the heart. This is the very core heart energy. This is energy you're bringing in with you. Okay? And it's legacy energy. This is energy you could have brought in for weeks, months, years, you know, lifetimes. We don't know yet. We'll find out as we go along. So this energy is at the very pulsing core of yourself, deep at your core. This would be the energy of the ever-present now. That's like you living through October. This is you living through October, okay? And every moment and every, or not, you're making decisions about what to do and how to move on through the month, through this thing that we call time, okay? So how do we do that? We make decisions. So this would be like the decision card here moving forward, because decisions are a time-based phenomenon. There's everything that happened up to that moment where you have to make a decision or want to make a decision, and then everything that happens after that. And everything that happens after a decision is you're facing the unknown. So there's always risk and there's possible reward. And it could be scary when you're always facing the unknown. It can be scary. Some people are very scared of making decisions. They don't want to think. They don't want to make decisions. They want to live life according to a predetermined code. Okay? It's understandable because it's sometimes very hard to make decisions, especially if you're a leader of any kind and you've got a lot of responsibilities. Those are the really tough decisions that no one else wants to make. And that's why there's only a few leaders, because maybe they're not scared of making decisions. We'll see. So let's say you figured it out. You've decided, I'm going to evolve anyway. I'm a Gemini. I'm just going to evolve anyway, even if I have to make tough decisions. How are we going to do that effectively and safely so that we don't get hurt? You don't get hurt. No one else hurts you. And you get the best possible outcomes, given what's happening for you right now in October. So also over here, what would that attract to you? Because if you like the idea of we live our life, we create our own lives as we go along through the process of decision making and the momentum that we've already generated from the decisions that we've already made previously. So that would bring, you know, consequences, outcomes. Now, if you think life happens to you from the outside, it would feel like fate landing in your lap in your life, for better or worse. But we're trying to stay optimistic here. Let's just say that you kind of like the idea of participating and creating your own destiny, your own life, your own outcome to a degree, or as much as you can. So that's fine. But over here now, this is the energy of realization. Okay, I've made a decision. Cool. Let's keep going. And then your body starts to feel it as an energy, like, oh my gosh, did I make the right decision? Have I done the right thing? What happens if it all goes wrong? Oh no. What happens if it all works out? Wouldn't that be amazing? That's all over here, okay? And then this is the momentum of where does that take us? You know, where does it all go? And we're living in this time-based phenomenon called life on Earth, and we don't always know. Even if you have a highly structured life, that's very predictable, there's still elements of the unknown that you don't know are going to happen. You know, an earthquake, tornado, lightning, anything. Meeting a stranger that is amazing. It could be whatever it is. Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to look at this card in just a second. This is what I think of as weather that permeates the whole thing, your whole world at the moment. And like everyone else, hopefully you're going to make the best of the weather. Okay, Gemini, just like a farmer would do. Okay, and you're not going to be overwhelmed or cursed because it's very challenging weather, and you're just not going to go hysterically loopy-loo because it's beautiful weather. In other words, you're you, and you read the weather and you make the best of it. Let's have a look what you got. Okay, the Judgment card. This has shown up a few times in the readings already for October. So you might be feeling, Gemini, like, oh my gosh, I got lucky. I got really, really lucky. Coming into October, this is awesome. I got a chance to start all over again. I am forgiven. I am redeemed. There is reconciliation. There are no grudges being held. There's no huge, crippling, like spiritual debts that have to be carried. This is an opportunity, like the gates have been opened. You're being told, Gemini, you're free. You are a free spirit. We invite you to live a new life and start from scratch all over again and make the best of it, having understood that there are conditions and that it would be really, really nice if you're going to accept this redemption, that you understand it is a very, very, very valuable gift from heaven. And the angels would really appreciate it if you'd make the best of it, even if it means starting your whole life, world, spirit journey from scratch again. Absolutely raw from scratch, because there are others, Gemini. You're not on your own, okay? We're all on a spiritual evolutionary journey together. So rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Please understand that you are being called now. You are being asked to live by, live with respect, and how incredibly precious this gift of life is, where you do have the chance of redemption and you can start over. It's literally a blessing from heaven. So in some ways, you're extremely fortunate right now, Gemini, to have those conditions around you. So let's make the best of it. Okay, let's have a look. Going in now, heart energy here. Well, didn't we have this earlier for somebody else? Anyway, with the death card here, Gemini, it might require, in order for you to, let's say, live up to the conditions of being granted such amazing redemption and reconciliation, it could make you come to this stark realization that, oh my gosh, I have to start all over again. And that means massive transformations in ways that you might not like, that you may not want, that you may not have expected. You may have been praying for redemption and healing and a chance to start all over. And now you've got it, but you're now realizing that deep down inside in the pit of your soul, it means you have to change. In other words, that's part of the condition. You can't be who you were, because who you were would have been the way you were that got you in the point where you got into enough trouble where there wasn't anything anybody could do anymore except, just say, okay, there's nothing we can do to help you. We'll just let you go. We'll figure it out. There's no point in punishing you or locking you up. You are redeemed. You are forgiven. Go for it. Start all over. But don't ever do whatever you did before to get you in that jam where you were. It's like going to bankruptcy court or something, and the judge says, dear Gemini, we know you meant well. You might have been innocent. We're going to let you go. Your slate is wiped clean. You don't owe anything to anybody. Start all over again. But do not ever abuse the bankruptcy laws again. Do not ever treat yourself as someone who can just get away with anything. No. It requires a serious amount of growing up, and that means a lot of transformation, which means basically allowing in the healthy way. It's allowing everything that needs to be severed and cut and removed and chopped away out of your life so that new growth can happen. That needs to happen here. Now, if you're struggling with this, and this is feeling painful for you, if October is feeling painful for you, it might be an indication that deep in your heart, you'd actually prefer to just stay how you are and just hope you don't get caught. But that's not going to help anybody. The whole reason we're here is to grow and evolve and love and be loved, okay? So in that case, the healthy way to treat this card would just be, have a tremendous amount of respect for like the laws of nature and a serious amount of gratitude about how lucky you are to be redeemed and forgiven. And then allow the transformation to occur. Submit to the transformation. In other words, just say, in other words, if I'm going to have to change as a Gemini, if I'm going to have to completely transform, reconfigure myself in my life, there's no point in fighting it. In fact, bring it on. Show me what to do, what I have to do, how to do it, where I have to go, who I have to be. Okay? Because that's how you get to the new light over in the great beyond. Okay? So don't be scared of this. What are you bringing in? Okay. Well, maybe deep down you've already kind of figured out what we're talking about here, and you just want to get on with it. With the Knight of Wands here, you might be all busting out, raring to go, just really, really chomping at the bit. Like, I want to do this. I really want to do this. I've been waiting for so long to transform. Yeah, I admit I'm actually terrified of the process of transformation, but I'm aware of it. I know what's supposed to happen. I might not have ever been here before, but I'm feeling it deep down inside. If I'm really, really honest as the Gemini, I know I have to transform. So I'm just going to admit it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Let's go for it. Bring it on. And, show me what it is I have to do, where I have to go, because I am ready. I want this, and I want to do it big time. Okay? I'm willing to jump in and do this. And I understand I might have messed up in the past before. I get it, and I thank you for the redemption and the forgiveness. Let's do this, people. Let's do this whole transformation thing. So if that, so far, the way I'm seeing it, I'm really happy for you. I'm excited for you, Gemini. All right? Like this amazing chance to start all over. It's amazing. So where does that put you right now here in October? Okay. Well, with the little Four of Swords here, let's just say, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's like a little stained glass window in a very, very simple depiction. It's very hard to see, but there's actually two people here. It's very similar to the Two of Cups. It's also very similar to the Six of Cups energy, where there are these like soulmate beings who recognize each other and cherish each other very, very deeply. And what I'm feeling here in this reading for you, Gemini, is that in October, it's really, really a time to reconcile and redeem oneself, not only with oneself, accept that you are being redeemed, reconciled, but also to bring peace and love and healing to anyone and anyone else that have been injured in the past, perhaps by your own actions, or how other people's actions may have injured you, and to the point where one of the very earliest steps and the very earliest chapters in your transformation is to go through the process of self-healing, healing oneself, healing others, in other words, by accepting redemption and reconciliation yourself as granted from heaven above. It's almost now you have an obligation and a duty now to heal others by granting redemption and reconciliation to those who you feel may have harmed you. Like, especially if it comes to very close relationships where the worst harm and damage can occur, where you might have been deeply vested with others in loving situations or business or life situations, children, peers, friends, family, co-workers, boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, all of it, whatever it is. And going at it from a healing perspective, where, wow, the first thing to do is heal myself by accepting the redemption as the first steps of transformational healing. Then realizing that you're extremely fortunate, now bless the others. Bless those who harmed you. That's very, very healing. By blessing the others, blessing your enemies, okay? that can be very, very healing. It can validate your redemption, where the angels look down and say, you know what? That's perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, Gemini. Thank you. I'm glad you're figuring it out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's say you just go and start doing that, and you make that your day job for a while. Let's just say in October, the whole idea is a lot of self-healing, which would start primarily with accepting the redemption, accepting the reconciliation that has been granted to you. It is a very, very valuable gift, and it can allow you to go through the initial steps of self-healing, which allows you to now bring the energy of love and healing to others. You can literally be an instrument of healing towards others now by granting them redemption, granting them forgiveness. So in other words, pay it forward, pass it on, pass on the energy of redemption. It's a very beautiful thing here. Let's have a look. So this requires making important decisions, because this is a big responsibility to do this, to live up to these new credos, these new ways of being that you might not have had the maturity to honor in the past. But now you've got it and you really want to go for it. So that's very brave. It requires a lot of courage. So, you know, I'm proud of you, Gemini. But it does mean you have to make bold decisions about, can you keep doing that? Well, look, okay, we've got the Seven of Cups here. So my feeling is that this Seven of Cups is quite closely related to the Death card, in that because of being granted this huge clean slate, this freedom, it's conditional freedom, that you're being granted full permission to start all over again, so long as you understand that it's a very valuable gift and that you will be called upon to honor that respectfully by radiating that outwards yourself. It might leave you a little bit dizzy because you might not have ever operated this way before, or understanding it life from this kind of perspective. So as you go through the very early stages of your transformation, let's just call it transformational healing, with all your enthusiasm, what can happen is you realize you're going to have to make a lot of decisions rapidly, on a continuous basis. Like this is, if this is you moving through October, this is going to be moving very closely with you, where you're going to have to be figuring out as you go through, like, where is it that the like the healing power of love has to be administered? Where can I offer reconciliation, redemption to others? And because the chances are you don't know, you might have to ask for it. So I like to think with this card, it's like giving yourself permission to do loopy stuff, like go to a park, look up at the heaven, look up at the skies, and say, please, dear angels, tell me what it is I have to do in order to activate this energy here. Because I understand it in theory, but I don't necessarily know how to do it. I'd love to get some inspiration right now. I'd love you to show me, give me a selection maybe of people or places, especially people with whom I've related in the past, where there might have been conflict or confusion or chaos or misunderstandings or falsehoods, or, you know, anything that was an optical illusion, not real or fake, that needs healing, that needs redemption, and to get back to reality. And so you can ask for that information to come to you through your dreams, so that you can become more fully aware, and then that becomes part of your transformational healing process, where you learn how to tune more and more and more into your dream world, and allow your angelic beings, your spirit guides, to speak to you through your dreams, for example, like this, making the bold decision to do that, because that might not be how you're used to operating. But I feel in this reading here, you're being guided to basically trust in the process of transformation, which you might not know how to do. And your only recourse is to, like, pray for the dreams to tell you, pray for intuition, pray for signs, pray for magical interventions, pray for psychic awareness, to come to you so that you understand what to do and how to do it. So let's say you get that. Let's say you get, oh, I figured it out. I saw a vision of that person. Now I know who I have to go and see to do this passing it on, paying it forward stuff with the redemption and the healing. I get it. Now I understand. So I'll text them. I'll call them up or something. Let's go meet. Let's hang out. And then you kind of do that systematically, okay? Because that's part of your mission now. That's part of your calling. So how do we do that effectively? Okay? So it's like you, with the four pentacles here, it's like you do it in a very, very methodical, practical manner that works. In other words, because these are such highly contradictory energies here, this is almost the energy of lunacy, and this could be the energy of, stability and solid foundations. So it's like a combo here where you tap into your most advanced, highly evolved spiritual energies, your dreamland, your spirit guides, and you find ways to turn that into concrete, solid, stable methods and ways of transforming that are effective not just for you, but for your new, let's say, task, your new call to action to be the one who pays it forward. Over here, especially when it comes to, let's say, being a medium, let's say a medium through which transformational healing can occur. So now you can be a voice, you can be let's say, someone who makes that effective. So the idea of paying it forward, reconciliation, redemption, forgiveness actually becomes a tangible force that has value, it has structure, and you can see how it all links together here. So it becomes like a foundational part of your way of being. It becomes built into your structure, built into your operating system as like the core, like as the core of your being, so that you can kind of own it. So the whole purpose of this transformational healing things starts to have meaning and purpose and value for yourself and for others, and you can start to feel it and own it, and become very, very stable in the way that you, let's say, like deliver the message of reconciliation, of redemption, of forgiveness. Okay, so that's how I'm feeling it here for you, Gemini. So where does that take you? Let's say you understand how to bring in this energy here by tapping into the high spirit forces, and then you stabilize it, lock it down, bring it down to earth in a way that's tangible, functional, and workable, like as an actual process, like a teachable process or a learnable process. Where does that take you? Okay, it makes you valuable. It makes you like someone who is appreciated and valued as someone who can actually do this. If you can actually do this, Gemini, and live it out as a physical person who is the embodiment of someone who can live out the process of transformational healing in themselves, in their own life, that becomes extremely valuable. Like you can teach people how to do that, and people really value that. And you can start to be appreciated as an authority, as the go-to person, and where you become highly respected in that regard. In other words, wow, if Gemini can do that, and they are actually living proof of that in themselves, and they are propagating that energy outwardly in a way that it's fully understandable. So it's not just in some wooey dream. It's it's almost like becomes a day job. It doesn't have to be your day job, but it becomes that kind of transformation that we're talking about here becomes fundamental to how you conduct yourself in the rest of your life, no matter who you are, what you're doing, younger, older, a male, female, whatever whether you're at school or college, you've got friends, family, whatever it is, people sense that in you, and that becomes very valuable. You become very valuable to others that way, which now means you become very valuable to yourself. You can see that reflected back to you the fact that you become more and more valuable to others is a direct reflection of your own mastery of self inside of yourself. So you can actually see yourself attaining mastery. It's incremental. It's going to be a long, like I feel like it's like a kind of a long, slow process. All of this, this could be going on. My feeling is for months, if not more, maybe looking into years, where this starts to add up more and more and more, where you own it. Okay, you attain mastery. It becomes a skill. It becomes a teachable skill, a marketable skill, a learnable skill, and that's very valuable in three-dimensional life here on Earth. Being able to understand this, understand transformational healing. So let's see. Making these decisions here, because these are very tough decisions here. You're calling on the super high frequency stuff of dreamland here. So it's scary. You're taking a lot of risks. You're asking a lot from heaven to speak to you in this way. So what happens if it doesn't work? Uh-oh. What happens if it does work? Okay. So let's say it works. So let's say it works. Then it's almost like, wow. Oh, I was wishing I could do this and be this, and maybe it's actually happening. Wow, that's pretty cool. And of course, if you mess up, but it's almost like you can't mess up anyway, because your angels, I'm not going to try and fool you or like mess you up. All they have is your best, your best intentions for you, what is best for you. So in other words, let's say, like, fingers crossed, oh my gosh, I'm hoping I'm making the right decisions here to trust my dreams and my intuition and all those voices from the great beyond and the images and the visions that I see and sense and feel, and I'm saying, bring it on. I hope it works out, because it looks like it's going to, in which case it could be a dream come true for you. It could validate you to the point where, my gosh, it's really actually working. I'm owning it and I'm feeling it, and it makes me feel ridiculously happy on the inside. I didn't know it. It would have been a nice wish to have that, but to actually have that is one thing. Wishing to be happy and having a taste of happiness is quite different from actually owning it, actually having a real life wish come true. It's almost frightening in some ways. So I'm really happy for you. Where does that take things? Bam. Okay, it just becomes your day job. You see what's happening here, Gemini? It's like the process of transformational healing that's going on inside of you for your own like spiritual journey becomes something that can be incorporated. Okay, it turns into a business where it becomes your day job. You don't have to be like a professional transformational energy healer. All I'm saying is that you incorporate that into your day-to-day being as a foundational component, ingredient of your life and your whole life and world, and it becomes just part of the work. The work, it just becomes part of you, where it's daily work. It's joyful work. It's like work that you love doing. Like, wow, I actually love doing this. I want to do this. I want to be this. I'm good at it. I'm valued by others, and I'm feeling more and more worthy in myself. This is very, very this is very satisfying. This is like the better it gets, the better it gets type of energy. It's very like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's on the positive side, not on the scary, dark, shadowy side, okay? So I see this as really good news for you, Gemini, and that this is, of course, it involves making very big, bold, brave decisions and being very courageous about facing the transformation that's inevitable, but it looks like you're going to handle it. It looks like you're going to do it and turn it into something that's tangible and has great value, not just for yourself, but for others. And it almost becomes your day job. So this is awesome. Thank you, Gemini. Have a super, super October. I hope you get something out of it, or it makes sense in some way. Maybe watch for your sun, moon, and rising and put it all together, and it'll make more sense. Okay? Let me just put this here. Okay, you remember that one? All right. Bye-bye. Bye.